what's up?
We all know Diddy as one of the richest men in Black Hollywood, and according to Forbes, a billionaire. He has been successful since the 90s, keeping and maintaining his success no matter who gets crossed in the end. He's been able to remain this mogul for decades, but not without stepping on some toes. His artists are the main reason why he's successful now, but you'd think you wouldn't want to cross the same people that helped feed you. In Diddy's case, none of that matters when it's all about him. Diddy has had a lot of shady business deals when it comes to his artists. They all seem to have the same fate regardless of how talented they are or how much their name still holds weight. The most popular artists like Lil Kim, Mase, Faith Evans, Notorious B.I.G., virtually everybody associated to Bad Boy somehow ended up having an awful fate or their career fell through the cracks. One of the most hurtful stories would have to be centered around Lil Kim. She was there in the beginning with the rise of Bad Boy Records and Junior Mafia. She was really one of the main reasons why Bad Boy was catapulted into mainstream status. But even with all she was doing for Bad Boy, Diddy is Diddy. For Lizzo's podcast, Good As Hell, Lil Kim revealed that Michael Jackson, wanted to collaborate with her for his Invincible album.
Diana Ross and Michael
Jackson. I knew you were going to say Michael Jackson.
Those are the only two people in the world that I ever wanted to just go and be a fan.
Right.
And like fan out. Although I did go front row with Rihanna because that's my baby.
Come on.
I did do that. That's my baby.
Wait, so you never got to see Michael Jackson?
I never got to see Michael. I met him, but I've never got to see him in person. You know what's so crazy? Rodney Jerkins, he was working on Michael Jackson's album, and he was like, yo, I was playing Queen Bitch for Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, I love how she raps behind the beat and it's so sexy. I was like, he said that?
What?
He was like, yeah. So I'm telling you that to say, we're trying to get you on the album.
Stop.
I was like, what? I think my leg is still trying to recover because I fell out the seat. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
You didn't get
on
So
let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
Puffy was my manager at the time.
Okay.
And when we brought it to Puffy, Puffy was like, Puffy can be a little bit controlling because I'm like his little sister. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if him and Rodney were going through something at the time, but it just never happened because I was a kid, so I wasn't handling my business. But I remember seeing Rodney and he going, yo, what's up? I've been calling and you don't want to be on Michael Jackson's album? I was like, what? Are you crazy? Of course I do. But I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. So that was a missed opportunity, not due to anything I did, but like, just, it was out of my control. Wow. And I really, 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 really just want to go somewhere and die.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh my God, I was like, what's she about to say? I literally, I still get teared up. Like, I'll be like, I know we got to see my...
The reason this collaboration didn't happen was because Diddy allegedly had problems with Rodney Jerkins. The actual reasons for these issues are very unclear, but what we do know is Diddy's controlling nature towards his artists. Whatever the problem was, it was too big for him to allow Kim to work with the biggest pop star in the world. A huge missed opportunity to elevate Kim's career that would have given her more leverage in the music industry and more money in Diddy's own pockets. Like I said, it could have been many factors, like maybe a little bit of jealousy also, because remember, Diddy inserted himself in everything Bad Boy related with his cameos and his ad-libs. He made sure to let you know that he was there, and Kim was a huge star, becoming a fashion mogul and really starting to become Lil Kim, not Junior Mafia Lil Kim, but Lil Kim. Maybe he also didn't want her to have that level of shine without him, even though it would have benefited both of them to the T. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be the last time Diddy ruined an opportunity for Lil Kim. Diddy's being a businessman, he also leveraged his artists to get what he wanted. Kim recalls stating that around the beginning of Bad Boy, she was considered the little sister of the group and Puff was helping her career. So she decided to seek advice from Diddy and he listened to everything he told her to do. She was still fairly young and didn't know the business aspects of the industry. So Lear Cohen, former Def Jam's president, called Kim to ask her if she could be on the Sisqó's Thong Song. She tried to negotiate on Diddy's behalf to boost Junior Mafia's then artist Lil C's. At the time, Redman and Method Man were huge artists, so this collab would have been a big deal for Lil C's. She told him she'll get on the song if they gave her clearance for Lil C's, and this negotiation went back and forth because Puffy told her to play hardball, so he also could get what he wanted in the process. Overall, it ended up falling flat on her face as Lyric told her no and released a song without her. She stated that's one of her biggest regrets in the music industry because the song turned out to be a mega hit. It went #1 and had a lot of international success. A lot went on during the Bad Boy days, including rifts and beefs that caused collision in making music. During Kim's initial start on Bad Boy, Biggie and Diddy had a beef with the group Jodeci at the time. Despite the fact that Jodeci still wanted to work with Lil Kim on the remix of their 1995 song Love You for Life and offered her a lot of money to do it, more money than she'd ever seen at the time, but Biggie told her no and locked her in a room so she couldn't show up to the studio to record. Aside from Lil Kim being loyal to Puffy, even after these situations, sadly Kim didn't get the same loyalty back. 2005, Lil Kim went to prison for lying on a grand jury to protect her friends involved in a 2001 shootout outside of a Manhattan radio station. Lil Kim was sent to a year in prison, and during this time Lil Kim was getting immense support from her friends and her fans. But someone who was considered her big brother never came to help her during this low period of her life. Kim expressed her frustration about Diddy never seeing her in jail, writing to her or even putting money on her books. He basically acted like she never existed for the year she was in jail.
With Puffy to the bitter end and still would have rode with him. Puffy never came to see me in prison, not one time. He didn't write me a letter. He didn't say, here's a number for Kim to call, not one time. After all the history that we had, not one time. Spend some time away. But just the fact that he didn't even try to, you know what I mean, like reach out or, you know, make sure that I was good or just see my face.
This, as you can imagine, was extremely hurtful to Kim. The long history that they had, you'd think he'd be the #1 supporter. But life always shows you who's really down for you. It was the people she met after the fame, like Marc Jacobs and Oprah, that wrote her letters, showed her undying support, and at least gave her some money to eat while she was serving her sentence. And after all of this, she still forgave Puffy, and that's one of Kim's biggest problems. She easily forgives. Kim's story is one of praise, but she has dealt with the worst disrespect in the industry as one of the innovators who birthed her own genre. She's honestly way too nice, because the majority of her story when she was or wasn't famous is riddled with abuse. Everybody around her betrayed her in some way, people who she considered family. It's extremely disheartening, but when it comes to Puffy, that it just shows that when he's not benefiting from you in any way, you're easily discarded. Mase is one of Diddy's most popular artists to date. He's penned a lot of hits, and despite only releasing 2 albums on Bad Boy, he has kept his name alive via his talents in the 90s. Brother Love has been on this rebrand of peace and love to change his image. This was considered disrespectful to Mase because how can you preach about love, but you've been the reason for a lot of artists' downfall in music? Mase was signed to Diddy fairly young, around his teenage years. During this process, he was appreciative that Diddy gave him the chance to be signed to his record label Bad Boy and start making music. This was obviously a great choice as he became a hitmaker along the way. When Mase was 19, he made the decision to sell his publishing to Diddy for $20,000. This was obviously a huge mistake since Mase's publishing is worth triple that. After releasing his second album, Mase decided to take a hiatus from the industry. It was speculated for a multitude of reasons. One was from the dark side of his association that many speculate. He was a prominent Bad Boy artist and he may have seen or indulged in things that scared him away.
Well, the craziest line I've ever heard in a rap song is, I was murdered, P Diddy made me pretty. What is that about?
I was murdered, P Diddy named me pretty. Did it for the money, now can you get with me?
What is that line about?
No. Okay.
I was murdered.
I'm bringing your album back, your first album.
That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that.
You had a lot of quotables in there.
I had nothing to do with it. But I'm saying, you know what's going on now.
Yeah.
So you was partying? Was you partying?
Nah, I wasn't partying.
All right. We good. But I see what type of time we on today. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy,
in.
I like raping when you.
Cameron told a story on a Breakfast Club saying that he went over to Mase's house to use the bathroom and saw some interesting things.
I believe on 35th Street and like Park Avenue between it's some brownstones down there. I believe 35th or 36th, and Mase was staying there, and I went to go meet him down there one day so we could bust a move. This is when he just signed with Bad Boy. He didn't even have an album out yet. He was just getting signed. And I went to use the bathroom, and it was a dildo on the bathroom sink. And when I came out, I asked him what's about. He like, that's homeboy's joint. You know, I don't know what it's about. He always have girls over here, but I don't know. I said, well, this one your sink. This is your bathroom. You're using this bathroom. I don't know where his bathroom at. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's word to my son, cause stop breathing. I swear
But you
to
know
God.
what? Guys use dildos on girls sometimes.
That's true.
And then Pimp C somewhat exposed Mase's extracurriculars in an interview for an ATL radio station.
Respect. But if you gay, man, and you ashamed of it, you need to stop doing stuff you're ashamed of. Anything done in the dark gonna come to the light. I ain't gotta expose them, cause they exposing themselves every day and every night.
They sure are.
But see, you work at a radio station and it's your job to answer me that question. And me being a real person, it's my job to know how to answer it, ain't it?
You already
What's
know.
up? All right, okay, so if you gay and you rap and you ain't and you staying in the closet, then you need to come on out of the closet and let us know who you is. Cause if you ain't proud of what you do, then don't do it. And if anything you're ashamed of, you shouldn't be doing it. You know who's getting caught in the Range Rover with the boy. You know what's going on in Atlanta, just like I know. You know who got caught in the Range Rover with the boy. Okay?
Nah, I don't really.
You know.
Mase was around a lot of things that he considered dark, including people dying around him and the person he said he was becoming. He left his surroundings to turn his life around for God and become a minister. He took a hiatus for 5 years and came back with his album Welcome Back, which had moderate success and was more of a positive route. After this album, he tried his best to leave Bad Boy for good and move into his own elements. Diddy obviously made it difficult to do this and was holding him back from moving on to working with G-Unit. Eventually in 2009, Mase decided to show up to a radio station and make Diddy sign a temporary release contract so Mase can be free from his contract. I don't think Mase hated hip-hop entirely or what it represented, since he did go out his way to become a part of G-Unit and be associated with 50 Cent. I think he knew that being with Diddy wasn't going to end well for him, and he tried to separate himself.
That try to do bodily harm with me, they will be in the house with Puff. So I'm like, it's a funny game y'all playing behind the scenes. So when people see me, they just see me turned up. They just see me agitated. They just see me aggressive, but they don't know why. So if somebody, let's just say we run down on Gilly car, if we got guns or whatever, where we got them, and we trap Gilly, and then the next week you see Wallow with me at your house, how are you gonna feel?
Yeah, I'm snapping out.
Tweaking, right? So now my head is bugging, like what's really going on, because every time something happened to me, it's somebody that's with him. But this is supposed to be the nigga I'm signed to. This is supposed to be who I'm getting money with. And I gotta say this because when people see me irate and they see me aggressive, they wanna, oh, what is Mase doing? Mase is bugging. No, it's a point you get to that you like, yo, I can't let you play because you playing now dangerous games. So imagine somebody doing that and then they over there talking about brother love. Imagine how you feeling, bro. So it's like you holding I can't blame Puff for this because I can't say he's doing it, but I can't say he's not. So if you look at the people who hate on me, right? They're from Revolt shows. Who run Revolt? The people that had the biggest problems with Mase and write the craziest stuff about Mase come from Revolt. Who run Revolt? I'm still asking y'all because everything people keep doing, I'm like, why do they keep tripping on me? It's almost like they want me to be something that's going to be detrimental to them because it's not going to be detrimental to me.
Mase was dealing with small bits of paranoia and aggression because of the things happening around him because of Diddy. He felt like things were happening to him and he couldn't confirm nor deny the reasoning, so he made the conscious decision to separate himself. Another artist that felt like there was a lot of games being played was Aubrey ODay. She has never been shy to speak out against Diddy for the past years. Aubrey was a part of Making of the Band and Dainty Kane, which was one of the rising stars of Making of the Band. They released 2 successful albums, being the first female group in Billboard history to debut their first 2 albums at the top of the charts. The only thing is, Bad Boy didn't necessarily believe in them. They never actually saw their success coming. They thought it was just for the sake of the show that they'll sell a few albums, not that they're gonna have a #1 album. Bad Boy didn't even believe that they would sell more than Cassie. The group worked hard, and they were put through constant trials to get better when it came to their looks, fashion, music. They were constantly working, but they were never compensated for their work, no matter how successful and in demand they were. Don Richards even said that they went on tour and they had to sew their own costumes together.
Of something bigger, right? He had no clue we were gonna be that big. I'll tell you, when we first came out, they said only do 100,000 copies because they're not gonna sell more than Cassie. That's what they told us when the first album came out. We sold 100,000 in a day, and they had to figure out how to get more units in by the time the week, and they barely got it, and we wound up selling 230,000 copies, and we could have sold more. We were in the Guinness Book of Records forever, but the
y'all
only
were
group
limited because they didn't have enough product.
They didn't believe in it. They didn't think we would. They didn't think we would sell. They had no clue we would be that big. And then we got out there, and when we toured, they wouldn't give us any money. So we were sewing our costumes from Forever 21.
Now, who wouldn't give you any money?
The label.
The label. Which label was that?
We were on Bad Boy. Yeah, we were on.
Bad Boy Universal?
Yeah. We were Bad Boy Atlantic. And it wasn't like it's just the truth that Puff really, he saw the money in the show. And then when they realized how massive it was,
caught him off guard.
They were like, oh, okay, yeah, let's figure this out.
So he was more interested in the television version of
he was making that. Making the Band was huge.
Aside from their lack of pay, the group had their own problems with how things were organized within. Some of the members felt like they had to be pitted against each other based off of labels. Who is the prettiest? Who could sing the best? Which caused internal issues for the girls. Out of the whole group, Aubrey ODay was the one that stood out the most. But because she stood up so much to him, people felt like it's because Diddy was playing favoritism towards her.
You want to show all your skin, you want to be naked, but the whole concept of Dainty Kane was like, when it comes together, it's one.
Puff's going hard on the group, and then all of a sudden he singles me out and starts going on and on about how unhappy he is with me, and I just feel like nothing that I do, he's ever happy with.
Can I ask a question? What do you want to look like, though? Do you want to look like a playboy, playmate? Do you want to look like you?
I'm done with all of that.
No. Like, what do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair, though.
I don't like big hair.
You like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown
out. I'm not seeing the flexibility. You gaming me.
Your hair people came in today and they said this is how it needs to be.
You know what I'm talking about. You're pushing your own image, though.
I'm not worried about whether my hair is straight, curly, whatever. I'm not here in a group to have curly, straight, big, makeup, whatever. I'm here in a group to sing with my group, and that is all I care about. For real. Like, maybe you just don't get me and we don't get each other.
You're gaming me, because if I pulled in all of the makeup artists and all of the hair people, they would not say that.
With the wardrobe, did I not try and cover up all the problem areas that I've been seeing were not?
Yes, we had that conversation yesterday.
How are you gonna get crazy with me? I work well with these people.
But it's not necessarily just the stomach area.
No, I'm talking about all of it. I mean, I was cool with whatever change he wanted to make today, and I did it.
Yes, you were today, but Aubrey, you have to admit that sometimes when you want to do something, you want to do it.
Well, yeah, I see what the problems are on TV, Puff. When people are looking crazy, or this is looking crazy, that's looking crazy. You even told me, review the things you do and pay attention to what the problem is. So I see what I do, and I see, ooh, that was not a good look. Let me fix that. I read the things that people say. You're the one that told me to do that. I do that, and I make an honest assessment.
I don't want you to look like Pamela Anderson. I don't want to sign Pamela.
Well, that's Aubrey
that's in the direction. Well, you don't look like her. You don't look like that girl that I signed.
I do know who Aubrey is. Puff, it's 3 years later.
It's 3 years later, and you're going in the wrong direction.
Okay, well,
you're going in the wrong direction. You need to stop the truck, pull over. I'm not changing nothing.
Okay, well, you wanted the weave out, the weave out.
I just want you to look good.
You're not happy, you hate me, then why are you having me here?
I don't have to have you here. That's one thing that we can make clear. That's one thing we can make clear.
But
I don't have to have you here. I'm trying.
Why do you have me here? Because every time it's just such a problem.
I have you here. I have you here because I feel you talented. But don't get it twisted. I'm starting to think about why do I have you here.
I'm not getting
okay, so you clear on that though. Check this out. You clear on that. You understand now? I'm asking myself why do I have you here? So I'll move on to something else. No, and I'll give you the answer soon. All right? And you may not be here then.
Before it gets to that.
And anybody want to go with you, they could go too. Don't get it twisted, man. It gets dark and lonely. It does, trust me.
Diddy has his own rep, so seeing her being able to do this raised some eyebrows. But Diddy was the one who created Aubrey's persona on why she got big-headed within the group.
So what was Puffy's response when they said that you guys had a side deal? What did he say?
Fired Aubrey on national television because he didn't like the way she was control. This is the thing, Puff built Aubrey up. He built her up on television. You made her a star. Like he called her, you the only white girl with black. He did that.
Aubrey, stop looking at him like he's a steak. Walk like you somebody. Sit. Slow now. All the way, hold your pose. 5, 6, 7, 8.
What's your name, Aubrey? You hang around black people? Got some black in your family? Something like that? You dance like you do. Y'all should all look at her and realize that she's dancing, she's feeling the music.
And then she felt it.
It was Frankenstein.
She
it was the
felt
classic
it.
Frankenstein.
And so she came back, her titties was done, she came back and it was like, I'm that girl. As she should. He made her that. But then he got mad because the direction of the group wasn't what he wanted the direction of the group to be.
I mean, you create the monster, and then the monster kills you.
And she started talking to him.
Frankenstein.
And he allowed her as a white woman, she felt she could talk to, he allowed her to talk to him any kind of way. And me and D could not talk to Puff that way because we would be the angry black women. That would not fly. He gave her that leniency, so she got real comfortable.
Started smelling herself.
Well, she felt herself an equal.
Right.
Because on the streets, she was hanging with Kim Kardashian. She had the field. She had every right. And he was like, "Oh no, but let me let you feel this real fast."
Let me reel you in.
Yeah, I'm like worth. I'm $1 billion. I'm
gonna show you better than I can tell you.
And his pride, and he said, "Fired." Boom, like that. And I was.
Even though he built Aubrey up, he also broke Aubrey down. But things were happening behind the scenes according to Aubrey. She claimed she wasn't willing to do certain things and was put into weird situations.
Why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions.
Wow. When you look back on that, how does that make you feel?
You know, I have such a love-hate with it all because I don't think I would have been able to be so successful in so many other areas had I not been trained under Diddy. He was the hardest person that you can work for, and it was torture. And not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, like just all the...
Diddy has abandoned Dainty Kane and they didn't have much success after. Virtually left to go find another way and they didn't become millionaires. They didn't have a proper financial compensation. They were just left in the dust. And what's happening with Dainty Kane now is there are things going on behind the scenes in Diddy's world. So now he's decided to give Dainty Kane their publishing back as long as they don't speak out on Diddy.
But I'm wondering is when the deal is, when this benevolent man who's just now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, we're credited with publishing. So basically, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds, okay? And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently for this thing?
I got it a few months ago when he started doing this.
In the news now?
So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, headline versus the truth. And really what this seems to be is a way to shut a lot of people up. And what would be the motivation to do that?
It's fair, Aubrey.
I think we're going to learn soon enough what it is. I already know because I know I have my ear to the street and I know everything that's about to happen. But
interesting enough, this is coming before Cassie's lawsuit comes out. So what's really going on with Diddy? Why are you silencing Dainty Kane more than they've been silent before? Because they have spoke out, but even Aubrey doesn't go into details on what was really going on. So what has Diddy shook that he needs to make them sign papers saying they can have hundreds of dollars, but they must never speak on Bad Boy or Diddy again after leaving them broke for years? It's very telling on what's going on. Every Diddy artist has spoken out about the shady, weird, and lost opportunities that were handled by Diddy. And it's unfortunate to see so many careers and potentials disregarded for someone's own personal banking at such a continuous level. Well, that concludes today's video, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Toodles!